Good evening, everybody. We are back for another round of the NASCAR Throwback Series. Round 4 tonight from Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas. We're at Autoclub. My God, I'm literally a week behind. Why did I say Las Vegas? Anyways, we'll get that fixed. We've got a whole host of drivers in the show tonight. But still should be a fairly good race. We'll get some race details up on screen for you. So like I said, week 4, Autoclub Speedway, 80 laps tonight, 3 sets of tires, 75 degrees in the air, makes it 115 on the track. But I don't know if we're necessarily going to see some loose racing with those temps. The drivers were already talking earlier, saying that it feels really tight out there. So I think it'll make for an interesting race. I think we'll see a lot of Larson line running. We'll be on the lookout for that. But you'll also notice these guys got some pink on their cars. They decided that this was going to be the breast cancer awareness race for the season. So it's only fitting. We had the breast cancer awareness race on Saturday. We've got the breast cancer awareness race with the NASCAR Throwback Series this week. So super cool. For those that followed along or at least watched the race on Saturday night, we did hit our goal on Sunday during Fast Car, which was very, very cool. Really appreciative to everybody that gave for that. So we're already in talks to get things bigger for next year. But a couple of things to note. Andrew Phips comes into this race as your points leader. JD McHaley barely got beat by him for points last week. So JD is only about 10 points down to him. And most of that came from bonus points. JD only got 5. Phips pulled off 20 with the pole, the race win, and most laps led. So quite a few there that really kind of knocked JD down. So JD looking to turn around from last week. We talked to him last week. He had 3 top 4 finishes in a row. He's looking to make that next box. Let's see if he can pull that off. We just saw Aiden Haller on screen. He had a really rough go at Vegas last week. Was out fairly early. There's your points leader, Andrew Phips, on screen as we speak. Yeah, I think these guys are ready to get back on track. It's been a long week. It's Wednesday, which is weird for me to say. It feels like it's been Tuesday all day. But these guys are ready to go and put on a hell of a show for everybody at home. What's going on, Nate? See Diggs in the chat. Looks like Michelle's here too. It's like we got the whole gang. But oh man, I've been waiting to get back to watching this league. The guys put on a hell of a show last week, so hopefully we can kind of continue here with Autoclub. And Gary does his usual lawn mowing before he smacks the wall. Got a few others still left to qualify. Diggs, that's not fun, man. That is not fun at all. If you're thinking it's Monday all over again, my God. But, oh man. There were points today where I could have almost thought it was a Monday. I'll say that. There was with work and stuff. It's been a little wild. So, but we're working through it. The nice thing is my big project at work is finally ending. So I'm excited to get that done and out of the way. Where did Dennis? Dennis did not have a good qualifying, or am I crazy? Sitting 10th. That's rough. We should be just about done here. Jeff Plus sitting on pit road. We got a few drivers that got some drive-throughs and EOLs for tonight. So that'll be a thing. But yeah, let's get this grid up, get this show on the road, and let these drivers get to racing. So Andrew Phips going to put it on the pole with a 40.364. Jesse Bennell going to start to his outside. Anthony Crownover is going to start third. So you got all three teammates right up front. Jacob Bowen's going to start fourth. Kevin Savoy is fifth. JD McHaley starting sixth. Good starting position for him. Josh Brock going to start seventh. Aiden Haller going to start eighth. Jeff Pless is ninth. Double D is going to start 10th. Diesel Weasel is going to start 11th tonight. Tom is going to start 12th. We'll move back a little bit further. Gary Freeman is 13th. Anthony McPherson is going to start 14th. Gabe Griffin 15th. Sam Green 16th. Michael Brock going to start 17th. Eric Dillingham is 18th. Mike McKaylee 19th. Carter Nelson is going to start 20th. Eric Kapp is going to start 21st. Dustin Haynes will start 22nd. And Tyler, unfortunately, was in practice, had to leave for work reasons. So he will not be in race tonight. But man, look at the sea of pink. It's just kind of wild how much pink there is out there. I'm really digging Phipps's car. I think that looks pretty cool. So we gotta do some sound adjustment here. I gotta get guys out of the way because I'm hearing way too much tonight. But no, hopefully we don't have to have Double D up here in the broadcast booth with us. You know, if anybody watched Monday night, you saw Stevens Motorsports 8 the Ocho, Dennis taking over and running the late model stocks for the Yes Car guys. Did a pretty banger job. I was pretty happy with him. So if you didn't get a chance to check him out on Monday nights, he'll have all the action from those guys. But we've got a pace car that's about to pull off, and we've got the NASCAR Throwback Series about to go green here. Like I said, Phips with that Sam Green Racing Designs pole award. So, which if anybody's looking for paints, Sam is now doing commission work again. And we're off. 2x2 as we get ready to head down towards 1 and 2. Phips with a really good start. And you're going to see all three of those teammates try to get in line. We'll see how long the bottom lane works. With it being as tight as it is, I don't necessarily think it's going to be the greatest, thing to use the bottom line. So, but Andrew Phips going to lead us through our first lap clean. We should start seeing a couple of guys hit pit road here. And we're going to try and do a crank it up here. I've got the cams for it, so we'll see how it goes. We'll do that on our next flyby, but everybody rolling good so far. JD and Aiden busting up the amount of pink in the field. But don't worry, Joe. We're gonna do it for Dale here in just a minute. We'll crank it up, and you know, hopefully these things actually sing really good. So we'll see you guys on the other side. Complete another lap as we're starting to see kind of two packs, so this could be quite interesting here. We'll see how that plays out as we go through the race tonight. I'm kind of wondering if we might see, you know, some long run green flag pit stop kind of things. You know, we saw it last night, obviously in the 87s league on broadcast. So when you get those green flag runs, man, it makes it so awesome. We're gonna go off the nose of Bunnell here. They were kind of close off corner exit, so kind of interesting that they were able to keep it clean here. You're getting frames of black and green, Joe, because I keep having issues with my chat overlay, but I got that fixed. We're good. We're good. It looks like Bunnell's going to go to the lead. So your top 10. Oh, we got a caution. Looking to see, that was Jacob Bowen, it looks like. Down in turns 3 and 4. We're going to go back and take a look at Bowen here. I'm not really sure. Michael Brock to his inside. Oh, no. He goes right around. Oh, father ball's in it. Doesn't look. Oh, really? That popped the front end off way late. Looks like Bowen's rear end. Oh, God. Yeah, he's going to be crab walking for a little bit here. So, not the way that Bowen wanted to start this race. But, hopefully he's got plenty of time to get it fixed as we get ready to do some pit stops. But, well, it looks like, unfortunately, Uncle Eric has had to check out early. Due to possible work things, unless his internet decided to act up. Uncle Eric was actually racing from his semi truck tonight. So, Michelle, they do not have fast repairs. The only time this league really has fast repairs is during super speedways. Otherwise, it's all, you know, no fast repair. Got to run it like it normally is. We'll see if, we're going to see if Father Ball's got a front end on that car yet. He does not. Jacob Bowen hit pit road early, probably trying to fix as much damage as he can. It looks like that right rear starting to kind of straighten out. Eric Cap, no damage. I saw JD come down. I'm going to assume that he was putting fuel in it there. Yeah, Eric looks clean, so I don't know if he's just trying to put fuel in and float to the back or what, but... So your top 10 right now, Jesse Bunnell, and Andrew Phips, Anthony Crownover, Dennis Daly, Aiden Haller, Josh Brock, Kevin Savoy, Sam Green, Anthony McPherson, and Diesel Weasel, your top 10. Mover of the race so far, Dustin Haynes, up 11 positions. So, pretty good gain for him. There's your gains on the board as we speak. We should see the lights on the pace car kick off here any second. There we go. So we'll be going back green flag racing next time by. Bowen is still on pit road, so not sure if it's that beat up or what the deal is. I see Father Ball's back on track. Still no nose on that car. But hopefully he can get another quick caution, get some damage fixed, and get back out there. Tom was pretty lucky with that one. He needed that caution pretty bad just because of the fact of his drive-through penalty there to start the race. And you're probably wondering, what does somebody do to get a drive-through penalty? If a driver's involved in 2 or more wrecks, then it escalates the penalty from an end of line, which they can get in race and serve, over to a drive-through penalty that they have to serve during the next race. So while the drivers, if they claim an incident that they caused, they get an EOL. If they have more than one during race, then it'll escalate to a drive-through. Now that only changes if they can't serve the penalty in race. So if Tom's car would have been able to continue on in that race, he would have had to have served a drive-through then. But pace car's now off. We're going to go back green flag racing. Jesse Bedell going to lead us to the line. His teammate Phips on the outside. And we're back going. Everybody 2 by 2. Benell going to dive it hard into the bottom. I'm sure some of these guys were checking to see what's my tire wear look like. Although we only had pretty much everybody from, I think, about diesel on back came down pit road. So I wouldn't imagine they took tires yet. Still too early, as Anthony Crownover is going to try and make his way towards the front. Double D stays to the high side here. And like I said earlier, you're going to see a lot of different strategies, I think. I think you're going to see a lot of guys that are going to try and dive it to the bottom. You're going to see a lot of guys that decide to leave it up high. And it just kind of depends, you know, whatever the easiest way for you to save tire is, especially with this car being as tight as it is. Diggs, it kind of looks like Mike's fallen off a little bit at the back already. I'm sure the giant parasail of no nose is not helping things. Dennis going to move it to the bottom this time. He's going to let Crownover drift to the top, see if he can't capitalize on the track position. But unfortunately, Dennis is not able to float up. But I see Sam Green trying to have a good run here. This is one of those tracks that once the flow starts, they can pretty much almost run green flag to the end. But you gotta kind of let guys space out a little bit, as we're 11 laps in. You know, last season here was a big green flag run, and you know, it turned into a fuel saving game. We might see that here tonight. It's hard to say. I don't know how many laps these guys are going to get out of a tank, but you know, if guys can save their tires, be there at the end, I think a lot of guys got chances at a win tonight. So, but Benell down to the bottom side. Josh Brock up into third now in that number 1 Bass Pro Shops entry. Looking a little further back, we've got Double D slid back to 4th. Kevin Savoy's in 5th. Crownover dropped all the way back to 6th place right now. Sam Green up 9 positions in that number 14 car. Aiden Haller hanging even in 8th place. Anthony McPherson's 9th. And then Dustin Haynes in the number 3 car doing it for Dale today. He's up 10 positions through 13 laps already. It's pretty impressive. Phips and Benell kind of controlling things. But I do think, obviously, with as many laps as we got to go right now, pretty tough to want to really go after it. Diggs, you're not wrong, because a lot of guys... Oh, caution's out. Looks like Michael Brock in that one. We'll go back and take a look. Oh, it's fine, Mr. There he is. There's Mr. Brock. We'll go blimp on this one. Play it in. They're 3 wide, headed down into 3 here. Gabe Griffin in the middle. Just looking to see where the mistake gets made. I don't know if somebody went high. Oh, Little Brock brushes the wall, comes down, and it just kind of looks like they occupied the same space. Gabe trying to back out of it. Michael tries to save it, does the right thing, kind of lets it come down. And then it should just lazily spin here. I'm sure Gabe was not. Yeah, there it goes up the track. Oh, and he swats the wall with it. Knocks the front end clean off. Oh, and it looks like it broke the right front tire. That's never a good day. We'll have to see. We'll go check out Michael Brock's car really quick. I cannot tell if that right front tire. No. No, that right, the right front is definitely not connected. So I'm gonna guess that is most likely going to be the end of the night for Michael Brock already, which is unfortunate because he showed a lot of promise at Daytona. Yeah, he's fighting it, trying to get it to steer correctly. But yeah, the right front is definitely broke on that car. So Dustin Haynes, or maybe it looks like it's Josh Brock. Josh Brock gonna inherit the lead here. A lot of guys coming down pit road. I think topping off on fuel, fixing damage. We know Mike's got a little bit of damage he's still trying to fix, trying to get a front end back on that car. But Anthony McPherson getting ready to roll off. Looking at Eric Cap. The Silent Assassin. I always want to. I want to know what he's doing. What's he thinking in his head? Because he comes out of nowhere sometimes. So, Stoku, a lot of time. You know, we've got plenty of laps. I don't think we're done seeing cautions, but you know, you obviously don't want a lot of cautions. So. But, you know, as I was saying at the top of the broadcast, if anybody's looking for somebody to do commission work on paints and whatnot, Sam Green is doing commission work at this point. His stuff is opened up for paints again. If anybody's looking for info, you can find that over in my Discord or the ICW Discord as well. And it'll be in the paint section over there. Or if if you're not in either, shoot me a message on Discord. I can get you all of his info and get you connected with Sam. So let's see if Father Ball's got a front end yet. Nope, no front end yet. You know, he toughed it out pretty good last night, the 87s. And it went pretty good for him. I'm sure he's going to do the same thing again tonight and you know, turn lemons into lemonade tonight. So we'll see how it goes. He just needs a couple more cautions to get that front end back on. But Diggs, I think that was more my fault last week. I'll just say that. I thought we had the setup right. Thank God for Tom for getting it correct while we were in slow car, but pace cars should be getting ready to duck off here in just a moment. Looks like Jacob Bowen has made it back out on track. Pace car on pit road. Josh Brock got to bring us to the line when he hits the restart zone. We'll get this thing lit. And we're green flag racing. Everybody 2x2 right now. Dustin with not a great jump there. It's going to let Benell go by. Benell's going to try to put it to the bottom side of Josh Brock. Can't quite do it out of two. He's just going to jump in line and away we go. I also see the tire and fuel master, Kevin Savoy. He is sitting fifth place. You're going to want to watch out for that car if we go late into this thing on green flag. JD McHaley is going to be up to, I believe that was about 7th. Oh no! trouble on the front stretch. We stay green. Props to Josh Brock for hanging on to that, but Dustin Haynes going to inherit the lead for a moment here as Phips tries to get below him and take the lead. Not sure if that was netcode or what that was. I've got Gabe Griffin on pit road, which is quite interesting. Not sure what that's about. His car is in one piece, but Dustin Haynes gonna lead that lap. He's got Savoy right behind him. Josh Brock faded back to about 13th. Jesse Bennell was able to hang on to it. He was 7th. So props to those guys for catching it and not having any major issues. We saw some netcode issues with Bennell last week. And maybe that's kind of creeping in a little bit, but we'll have to see how it goes. The top 5 separated out a little bit as Savoy goes to the bottom side of Dustin Haynes. So the 2 Canadians in the field duking it out up front. Haynes coming back on the outside off of turn number 2. That high lane's going to be a little bit better just because of the fact that you could carry so much more speed. I think, if you can get to the bottom early, it'll play off well. But after a while, you're going to start to see those tires kind of fall off. So it's going to be the game of cat and mouse. When we raced the Gen 6 here last year, that thing was high lane dominant. Don't move it off the wall. You'll save as much fuel as you can. A little bit of clutch work, and you can run no problem. So I'm not sure what happened to Gabe Griffin. He is back out there, but he is a lap down, so he's going to need a caution to get back in this thing. Dustin going to guard the bottom, force Savoy to the high lane. Phips in tow. JD falls back a position there. Dennis trying to look to the bottom of JD. I know a lot of these guys are probably kind of looking to find what their line is going to be, and you can see it. If we'll go off the nose of JD the next time we go to enter the corner, and you'll see, guys, how much the fan out is just on the lead. I mean, you can see there's almost 4 different lanes that guys want to run. I think JD's running a great line right now as we see Savoy get a little loose off corner, and that's what I'm talking about. These tires are going to get hot, especially that right rear, and that's where the walk-in's going to come from. It's almost like the setup's bound up just enough that once it gets to a certain point, it just kind of unloads and the car starts to get loose. So I think that mid to high lane is a great choice for a lot of these guys. They're going to save a lot of tire up there. Oh, as JD tries to clear Tom. I don't know if one of them didn't realize that the other one was there, but JD keeps it rolling. Kevin Savoy to the lead now. Actually, I lied. It's back to Dustin Haynes. So everybody doing a real good job. We're almost 4 wide back there as we're starting to get stretched out a little bit. Anthony Crownover catches the wall. It's going to slow him down and drag him right back. So for some of these guys, that's a blessing in disguise because Anthony Crownover can make one of these cars rip. Dustin getting out to a little bit of a lead by himself. But Phips trying to come back on the bottom side. JD trying a different line as well. We've seen him more in the top lane, but we see him going to the bottom now, which is interesting. We do have a few cars off the lead pack. You've got Eric Cap, Gary Freeman, Diesel Weasel, and it looks like Anthony McPherson off the pack a little bit there, which might not be the worst thing in the world. You know, here it's really weird as we're 4 wide back in the pack. I'm trying to see who that is. I think that's Josh Brock on the move, working his way back up. So nice recovery for him. JD still fading back a little bit. You know, this is one of those tracks that for some drivers, it's a fun track. For other drivers, it's challenging. And when it's challenging, what you think is it can go great just turns south really quick. You've got to make adjustments. As we see, Tom Gom has made it almost to the front of the pack here. And the man is just flying. He had a drive through to start the race, and he's sitting in third. And now Tom grabs the wall. That's going to shuffle him back. This is one of those places, if you touch the wall and try to get it off the wall, it pops off like if you took a plunger to a wall and you go and pull it. It just all of a sudden jerks right off the wall. It's not exactly fun. We're going to go back here to the battle for like 4th, 5th, 6th all together. They're 3, almost 4 wide off the corner. JD's actually starting to climb back up after drifting back. So this car actually really racy here from what I'm seeing, which is exciting. Three wide, almost back by JD again. Phips trying to make his way back to the top 3 as he dives it off down into 1 and 2. He follows Savoy. Can he clear Haynes? I don't think he can. He's loose. Nice save there. We were talking with him last week. Phips doesn't have a lot of time in this car. So I think, you know, Phips, just like the rest of these guys, most of us don't really run the ARCA cars. So trying to learn, move around, figure out what works best. Dennis on the bottom this time, and Dennis has the lead for a second. Now it's back to Savoy. Haynes going to jump to the bottom. Man, I'm kind of curious. I want to get some race recap up here. How many lead changes we had? Only 3? I find that fascinating. I figured we had more than that. Starting to really get stretched out. I think with JD and Aiden, I think as long as they can hold on to Dennis's draft, they can stay in the lead pack. They might be able to separate themselves out. As we look, Tom and Phips are all the way up against the wall. Definitely a lot of good racing in this one tonight. We're 30 laps in. We're slowly creeping towards that halfway point. I think if these guys keep it up, I think we'll see a green flag stop as everybody's kind of started to sort out where things are working, where things aren't, where the room needs to be. Some definite good driving as Kevin Savoy continues to lead the way. You know, like I mentioned before, Savoy is one of the best tire savers I think I've ever seen, but Savoy also does autocross, so that it kind of explains a lot. As we see Phips go to the bottom and try to make his run all the way down there. And this might be, depending on the setup, it may be one of those things where it works great down low in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, you got to kind of keep it stay high. But I do see JD McHaley slowly creeping back in, which for him in the points battle, that's a good thing. He doesn't want to see Phips win this thing. He wants to be ahead of Phips. So, Diggs, to answer your question, yes, he does as well. So, and I don't know if they're from the same part of Canada or not. I'd have to ask. But, yeah, Savoy back to second. They're getting a little bit of a gap on the Gominator and Dustin Haynes. And it looks like Dustin headed down pit road. I bet that's going to be a green flag pit stop because he didn't pit, I don't think, the last 2 times. Phips going to lead across the start finish line. Savoy is second. Man, we might see some things start to stretch out here soon. I see JD's down on the bottom with Benelda is outside. Benel going to have a drive on JD as we go down the back stretch. See Aiden trying to creep into that picture as well. 3 wide in the back, single file up front, but the battle rages on. Savoy trying to take off after Phips. He's trying to stay in the draft, save as much fuel as he can. Looks like strawberry cotton candy all over the track. I like that. That's an analogy. I like that one, Michelle. I think a lot of guys have figured out the tire situation and where that line's going to work. But now it's just figuring out, okay, what's it going to take to stretch the fuel as far as I can? Because a lot of these guys can't make it. That's going to be a big deal there. As I do believe Josh Brock headed down for a green flag pit stop right now. So some of these guys starting to drop off. You're seeing them come in by themselves, and that's not a good thing. You've got no drafting help at that point, so it makes it very tough. Dustin Haynes wound up a lap down. We'll see if Josh Brock can make it out before these guys get around. It's going to be pretty close, I do believe. But Savoy is not letting Phips go. He's trying everything he can. Josh Brock still sitting on pit road as these guys cross the start-finish line. So my guess is he's going to blend out behind the pack that Dustin Haynes is in unless he's sped coming down pit road, which, from what I can tell, may be the case. Phips continues to lead. We're starting to catch the lap car of Fatherball. He's going to want to see a caution sooner rather than later, but if they catch him here and then the caution comes out, he should be all right if the caution happens behind him. But Phips going to lead back across the start finish line. We see Benel starting to pressure Crown over a little bit. And as Padawan just said in the chat, we've got Yes Car Trucks tomorrow night from Chicago. So that should be a really good race. The trucks in Chicago are a lot of fun. As Fatherball tries to go high to get out of Phips' way. Oh, golly, that put him in the wall hard. Not really sure what happened. I don't know if he had to jerk it back to the wall. But that definitely beat up that car. So Fatherball not having a good run tonight. As we approach 38 laps in. Still green flag racing though. Michelle, we actually picked up the Yes Car Truck League that runs on Thursday nights. So we've been busy all week. We've got the Yes Car Trucks, not the 3D stuff. So normal style racing is how I'd put it. That'll be Thursday night with Yes Car 3D. We're gonna have their championship race Friday night. We've got NASCAR Generations on Saturday, and then we've got the last official fast car race of 2025 happening Sunday night. So yeah, we've got an action-packed weekend for everybody. You're gonna find something here on the channel, and then Dennis is gonna do it all over again Monday night, as we're starting to see. Looks like we got about 7 cars in that lead group. 7 cars. Yep, I was gonna say, because I think JD was the tail end of it. I gotta imagine though we start to see some guys head for pit road rather soon, as we've hit the halfway point in the race. This is where you bust out your Bon Jovi album, as we're halfway there. I don't think these guys are living on a prayer, though. I'll just say that. But I think we're seeing Phips try to save some tire maybe down low, not push it too hard. But we've got like 3 different packs going right now. So we've got a pack back to 7th, which is JD. And then Aiden leads the next pack back to Gary Freeman and Eric Kapp. So we'll see who's saving fuel, who's not saving fuel. It's going to be very interesting as we see Benell and Crown over side by side down into 1. You could bet money that those guys are giving each other some space, as they tend to race together quite a bit. But props to these guys for making my job a little on the easy side. I haven't had to give you guys replays too much, but so far so good. It looks like Savoy is trying to burn up that right rear a little bit. I don't know if that's helping or hurting, but we're not seeing a bunch of fall off, and JD's just kind of biding his time, watching, seeing what happens. We're going to go back here. Dennis is now going to lead the next pack. He's actually broken away from Pless and those guys a little bit. Now I'm kind of curious, if we go back to last lap time, Dennis with a 41.195. He's a little slower than Benell, but I think this one might be a heater, as it looks like he's starting to catch Josh Brock for some draft. See what the lap times look like as we cross the start-finish line. Double D with a 41.120. Yeah, he's running right around the same lap times as the leader here. Savoy is really trying to pressure Phips. These guys are giving it everything they got. So Dennis sits 2.9 away from your leader right now. See if you can't close it in a little bit. Phips leads across the line. Dennis actually losing a little bit of touch. I think he's kind of lost some draft from those guys. I think Josh Brock was able to pull away from him. Josh Brock trying to drive his way back to the lead lap. Josh is going to need a little bit of help. Oh, man, Savoy and Benell touch. Still clean. 4 wide across the start-finish line. Sam Green going to capitalize on their misfortune back there. So Sam up to second. He's up 14 positions. He's going to let JB go. Josh, like I said, on fresher tires, going to drive his way back to the lead lap here, I would think, very shortly, as we're 45 into this thing, about to be 46. I got to imagine some of these guys getting ready to head to pit road rather soon. And Phips is going to be the first one. He's all by himself. Oh, he's got Benell. We got a whole host of guys coming down pit road right now. It looks like Dennis, Aiden, I think that was Carter back there. So Sam Green going to inherit the lead here for a few. We'll see how many more laps longer he can go. I think right now, if it's me, I try to stretch the fuel as long as I can and pit last second, because I don't think you're going to make it from here. If you could get it to where you can shorten it up just a little bit, I think any little bit's going to help. Sam's down to the apron. We've got Crown over, Savoy. It's pretty much the whole top 5 is coming down pit road. Jeff Pless comes with him. Gary Freeman headed down. I'm looking to see who's going to wind up where. Cap's headed down. Phips is off pit road, so he's going to be the first guy off pit road with Benell not far behind. Where does JB fall out in all of this? Josh Brock, the one car out in front of Phips. So I don't know how that's going to flip-flop. I almost feel like that's going to update and Josh Brock's going to move up, but waiting to see what happens here. Okay, so Phips is going to come out with the lead as those guys are all coming off of pit road. He's got quite a lead on Savoy at this point. He's 1-7 up. Now, that's kind of some bad news for Phips, just from a fuel standpoint. He's got nobody to draft with. So, Botherball is going to skate up the track here. Jump back to Kevin Savoy. He's all by himself. Kevin's got to come back down pit road. Man, it's just been a bad break for Kevin. That's not something you want to see unless he knows something about fuel that we don't know. So that could play out interesting. Anthony Crownover, JD McHaley going to come out second, third. So if these guys can get hooked up in a draft and see if they can't run Phips down, this might work out quite well. So we'll have to see. I kind of wonder if Kevin didn't get tires or something, or maybe the fuel didn't go, because now Kevin's going to go a lap down here. As we watch Crownover, I mean, he's trying to pull Phips in. Phips is going to be down into 3 at the moment. Crownover's got the draft off of Fatherball, which helps for the time being, but he's going to clear Fatherball pretty quick. JD's got a group of cars coming to him. So these guys might be faster if they work together. We'll see how that plays out. Phil Connor with the info. Everybody's got to make one more pit stop. 28 laps per tank. So even if you pitted, well, knowing Savoy, I think we need to keep an eye on that. He could pull it off. That may be why he pitted again. I mean, Savoy is the master of the fuel saving, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. I did a 30 or 40 lap run here in the Gen 6, and was able to fend off Savoy and pull in Benell, who had a half a lap lead. So anything's possible right now. Battle for third, though. You've got JD, Tom, Benell, Aiden, all in the hunt here for third place. As it looks like Benell's going to clear JD on exit. Tom going to go with him. I think if I'm one of these guys, I'm tucking it in behind somebody and I'm going to draft as much as I humanly possibly can. Just to try to save some fuel. But battle for third and fourth still raging on here. Crownover slowly dipping below the 4-second line to try to get back to Phips. Go off of Jesse Benell. If these guys can hang together, they're going to be faster together than to fight each other. So we'll see if these guys can run down Phips at all. It looks like Phips is just kind of driving away from the pack. I'm watching the time on the left side of your screen there. It just keeps getting larger. It's like Phips has figured something out on top of catching some lap cars. So we'll have to watch and see. Crownover just coming out of turn number 4. We come back to Benell, who's got the Gominator, JD, and Aiden all in tow. We see Kevin Savoy starting to catch this pack. I'm sure if he can get there, he'll probably tuck it in pretty good, try clutching the ever-living crap out of it and see what he can pull off here. It may work. So that's why I think Savoy's got something up his sleeve, I do believe, as Phips has gapped Crownover by almost another second again. So we'll see if these guys can at least get back to Crownover. They've got a pretty good pack, but they all keep fanning out. Like they're gonna have to follow. They're gonna have to follow Benell, or otherwise it's not gonna work. But we are inside of that 28 to go. Do we see some guys pit it early to try to stretch it? It may be a good play. Dustin Haynes just hit pit road. He's in 13th. So this may play in Dustin Haynes' favor. As we're, like I said, 26 laps to go. A lot of these guys got to be looking at fuel going, okay, where can I stretch it? How can I stretch it? As Dustin is off pit road and away, he's going to come out a lap down, I do believe, to your leader. But he doesn't have to pit at this point. Andrew Phips trying to grab draft off of anything right now. He's just throttled down, not really saving the fuel, so we're going to see where it plays out. As Crownover is 5.3 back. And it kind of sounds like Crownover might be saving some fuel. We're going to go in and listen. Yep, that's exactly what's going on. You heard that car shut off. Let's... Jesse Benell. He's not really clutching. Phips is just staying in the throttle. It's... You know what? I want to see Kevin Savoy. Kevin's on the throttle. You see him wheeling that. You see his hands moving back and forth. He's caught that pack that we were talking about. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I do think it's going to be interesting as we're seeing Crownover drift to these guys, but with him clutching, that's what I totally expect. Try to save as much fuel as he can. Let Phips get out in front and beat him on the fuel mileage game. It may work out, it may not. This works a little bit easier when you've got a car in front of you to cut the wind. Tom's made his way around Benell. He's got Savoy all over the back of him. But they are catching Crownover hand over fist right now. So Tom's sitting in third. He's going to go after Crownover, probably, I would think, in the next lap, seeing that Crownover's clutching. Probably let Savoy go here and just ride as best he can at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see where guys start to come down to pit road. I don't know if I'd run it out unless guys have enough fuel, but I've almost got to bet that most of these guys don't. Looks like Eric Cap is hitting pit road from 12th place. See where Phips, if he dives down. Nope, he's going to stay out this time. Looking at crown over. Tom gone to the inside of crown over. Now they're all lined up. I don't know. We're down to 5-7 for the leaders. To your leader, Phips. We got Josh Brock headed down pit road right now. Phips stays out another lap. Tom's going to lead him through 3 and 4 here, as we're about 5.3 out. And the way that Phips is dropping, I got to wonder if he's clutching now. We're going to find out in the next corner. Give me the roll bar. Yep, Phips is clutching now, trying to stretch that fuel. We'll see if it's too little too late. But Tom's just about 3.7 off of him as we come off of turn number 4. He's got the draft to Kevin Savoy. JD trying to make a run for it. He's got Bowen trying to help him. Bowen the lap car. I know at this point, JD's probably thinking, I don't want another 4th place finish. Tom looking to turn around his season a little bit here tonight, too, as they're down to 3-1 to Phips. It's 17 laps to go. Phips headed down into turn 1. Gabe Griffin, the lap car behind him. Down to just about 3 seconds. Tom following Savoy's line as they come off of 2. It's basically the battle of who flinches first. You've got Bonnell right behind Tom. Top 10 so far: Phips, Gom, Bonnell, McKaylee, Crownover, Pless, Freeman, Diesel, and Dennis. All in the top 10. Phips down to 2.4. Is the clutching going to be enough to save? Corn, I'm very concerned about what you typed. But the race has been great. We'll get some stats up on the screen for you. 65 laps so far, 2 cautions, 7 lead changes. So pretty clean race. Tom's got him down to 2.3, so we're not far out on Phips. You can tell he's still clutching because he drops way back in the corners. Tom with a good arc through 1 and 2. Bonnell gonna run the high lane. Man, they're still trying to roll towards Andrew Phips. Gabe Griffin back on pit road. I'm assuming you meant I'm so bummed I missed this race, not I miss you his face. Really weird. Not sure I feel about that. As the top, well, I'd say top 10, but the top about 8 go down into turn number 1. Tom's still running that midline. They're still catching, though. You see Phips starting to come into screen. Bonnell kind of peeking out there. Down to 1.6. Tom's a little loose. Up the track he goes. Does a great job of hanging on to it. Down to 1.4. Josh Brock, the lap car. He's on fresher tires. 13 laps to go. I think Bedell might pull even with Tom on exit this time, so Tom's not going to have anywhere to go. Ooh, they're there. They touch. Bedell makes it around. They're down to 1.1. Only 2 cautions so far, Eric. So clean running so far. You can see Phips at the bottom of the screen. You've got the lap car of Kevin Savoy, and then you've got the rest of the top 5. Now I know why Tom was running the mid. He can't run the wall. JD going to use the lap car of Josh Brock. He tucks back in. Benell's got Phips down to 0.4. Has Phips been doing enough to save fuel? Can Tom make it on fuel? Savoy trying to pressure Phips into maybe having to pit here. As we see, Jeff Pless is on pit road currently. Phips out to 0.6. He gained a little bit that time. There's your leader. Headed down into the corner. I'm just wondering how many of these guys can make it on fuel. Jeff Pless still on pit road. 11 laps to go. Phips to the bottom. You got Josh Brock trying to help Savoy get around Phips. Jesse Bedell, Tom Gom down on pit road. So we'll see where that puts them. I think Tom's smart for pitting with Benell there. Unless JD saves some fuel, we'll have to see what happens. JD's up to second, 10 laps to go. I almost kind of wonder if double pitting wasn't the way to go here. Phips stays out. JD's still in second. He's got 2 lap cars helping him right now. We'll have to see. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We're going to have to see when Phips hits pit road. We've got everybody else cycling through. Tom and Benell made it out in front of Phips. So this could get very interesting. 9 laps to go. JD sitting back there behind Gabe Griffin, probably trying to use him to save some fuel. Kind of want to go on board with JD for a minute. He's letting Gabe get away from him, so I've got to imagine that JD's been trying to save some fuel. Oh, yeah. Yep, there's the clutch. He's got to be getting close. We'll have to see. Phips going to lead across the line. We've got 7 to go. Crown over back behind JD. And I'm looking at Aiden coming out of turn number 4. Sam Green headed into turn 3. Double D headed into turn number 3. Followed by Benell and the Gominator. Let's check last lap times. Phips is still running a 40.6. I'm looking at Gom and Benell. They're in the 40s. Man, I almost think that Phips has done his homework and saved enough fuel. That's what I'm thinking here. Which, if he did it correctly, he would save tire as well and be able to run faster lap times. And as long as he stays right up behind Savoy, you're saving a ton of fuel. JD's got some lap cars in front of him. We'll see how that goes. Because if we go back to third is looking way off the pace at the moment. Yeah, JD's actually opened up a good gap. So I think having the drafting help in front of him, he could save some fuel on entry. And we'll see what happens. But Phips continues to lead. He's just running the bottom, not really trying to push it, and then falling right in line behind Savoy. To be if JD can pull off a podium here, that kind of separates these two in the points battle a little bit. They're gonna open some things up. It does leave Phips ahead of JD, but I don't think, as we see Phips hit pit road, the question is, does JD have enough to make the end? That's where the question's going to be. JD McHaley's going to inherit the lead right here. We're going to find out, did JD save enough? Has he been saving the whole time? Yeah, I think as long as he gets back up there behind the 21 of Bowen and lets him cut the air, JD might have a shot here. So hopefully he's been doing his homework. He's probably been clutching every lap because we haven't really seen JD push it. And JD's up 14 seconds over Crownover. This could be highly interesting. So Crownover's in second, Aiden's in third, Sam Green's in fourth. Phips took a splash only to come out in front of Benell and Tom. Benell's dropped Tom like a hot rock. Aiden just hit pit road. JD's still in the lead as we get ready to come off of 4. And he stays out again. And he's still pulling away from Crownover. He's up almost 15, 16 seconds. I think JD McHaley might have enough fuel to take this thing all the way to the end and beat these guys at a fuel saver. We're going to have to see. JD to the bottom. We see that 95 a Diesel Weasel. JD stays out. So he's either going to make it or he's going to walk back to the pits at this point. White flags in the air. And I think JD is just using his dad as a drafting buffer. Stay behind him. Save fuel. Don't run high RPM. You don't have to pass anybody. I think JD McHaley gets his first win in this league as long as he doesn't run out of fuel. JD dives it to the bottom one more time through 3 and 4. He's pulled out to 18 seconds. At this point, all he's got to do is coast it across the line, and JD McHaley is going to come home your winner for Autoclub tonight. That was a hell of a drive from JD McHaley. Kind of curious to hear what he's gonna say. I would be backflipping over that win. That was an impressive win. And JD McHaley, runner out of gas. Aiden giving JD a push to the finish line here. We'll have results up in a second. But man, what a run. I can't wait to get him in here for his interview because I got a feeling this is going to be a good one. I mean, that is just absolutely wild. I've got to give a huge props to all the drivers tonight. I mean, it was a very, very clean race tonight. As we're trying to get everybody lined up. We'll get your results up on screen. We'll hide this. And those are practice results. We need race results. JD McHaley going to pull off the win tonight with Andrew Phips, Jesse Bedell, Sam Green, Tom Gom, Jeff Pless, Dennis Daly, Anthony Crownover, Diesel Weasel, Aiden Haller going to come home your top 10. And then we've got Eric Kapp, Gary Freeman, Josh Brock, Carter Nelson, Kevin Savoy, Gabe Griffin, Mike McKaylee. Move back a little bit further. Anthony McPherson, Jacob Bowen, Michael Brock, Eric Dillingham, and Tyler Nichols, the rest of the field. I'm trying to figure out what... Oh, they're trying to back JD into a spot. They're trying to get him lined up for this photo. Oh, God, that's funny. Tom doing burnouts for JD. I love it. I love it. Well, let's get him in here. Oh, we've got... we're going to get him in here. The man of the hour, the fuel saver of the night. You beat Savoy at his own game. You finally get one of these things. You pulled off the win tonight, bud. Good job.
Thanks, man. That was really hard.
I was going to say,
pretty much.
Are you sweating in your seat?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I pretty much, since that fuel save, I was like, golly, I was about 3 laps short, and I was like, maybe it's possible, but I got to give a shout out to my Penske teammate. I couldn't have made it if he didn't help me out there at the end. And so he sacrificed himself for me to finally get a dub.
Well, it was funny because the entire chat noticed that Father Ball was breaking air for you, and I think with his nose damage, it forced you to slow down a little bit. I think that's probably what was ultimately how you were able to pull it off. But I kept watching, and I'm thinking, he's going to have to pit. He's going to have to pit, and you just kept going.
I've been saving since the beginning, and I mean, like, I've been practicing that too. Shout out to Tom for helping me out here. But if there was one race I wasn't expecting to win, this would be it. But that fuel thing just happened to work out for me.
Well, and we talked about this, late last week. You're running 87s here. This isn't one of your favorite tracks, or one of your better tracks, and then you go out and just absolutely school them on fuel mileage.
I got lucky. It happens. If it wasn't for Dad at the end there, I may not have made it because I ran out right at the line. I was going like 50% on that last lap.
Do you know how much you won by?
No, I don't. I know Crownover was behind me for a while, for about 13 seconds, and then he just disappeared.
You won by 20.2 seconds. And against some pretty good company, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, we all know how good Savoy is at fuel saving, so to do that with him in the field is pretty cool.
Well, and I think I'm not sure, but I think he got popped with a speeding penalty when you guys had that green flag pit stop, the first one. So I'll have to find out later on, but he did not. He had to come right back in. So, and I thought it was just a strategy thing. He was going to beat you guys on length, and it just didn't work out for him tonight. But anybody you want to give a shout out to? I mean, this is a big win for you, bud.
Good old Father Ball. Appreciate you putting this on. I enjoy watching these streams. I always watch them. If not the night of, I'll usually watch it the next day. I think that you're a fantastic broadcaster. I appreciate everybody cheering for me. I haven't looked in there, but I'm sure some people
Oh,
from my Fortitude crews out there, so I appreciate you guys.
the chat has been going nuts since about the second you took the lead. So
I haven't gotten a win in so long, so it's nice to have gotten one through not necessarily just driving my butt off, but through strategy, which is
that's what makes them fun. Well, that's what makes them fun, right? Like hard racing, it's great when you get to kind of play the game a little bit. I think it makes it all that much more sweeter.
Yeah, super thankful for my Penske teammate. Dad did a great job helping me out there at the end. So love you, Dad. I saw him and I was like, "Oh, you're behind me. Would you mind?
Would you mind?" Well, like I said, good win tonight. Don't forget to get with Sam. He'll get you the emoji next to your name for the Discord.
Yay.
But congrats on the win, man. I almost got to wonder if you guys aren't tied in points leaving. I'm not 100% sure. It's gonna be either you or Phips. It's gonna be real close.
I mean, it's been a real blast so far. Just love doing this. It's just a ton of fun.
Well, see, now we joked about it. You went 3/4 places, and then you just skipped third and second right to first.
I know.
So.
I was sitting there for a while, and I was like, I said, I'll bet you I can finish in fourth again. I didn't think that I would be the only one to stretch it. I really didn't. I
did joke about that on stream because I said he is not going to want to finish fourth again.
I think it was Benell and Phips or Benell and Tom pit, and I was like, holy crap, I might be able to pull something out here. And then I saw I don't remember who was leading at the time. I was not even paying attention. I was just focused on fuel the whole time.
Right.
But whoever was leading, when I saw that I took the lead, I was like, oh my gosh.
I think it was Phips when you took the lead. He pitted.
I think it was, yeah.
I thought he had enough to go, but we'll talk to him here in a second and find out what happened. But man,
it took a ridiculous amount of fuel saved to be able to just inch across the line.
Well, and it took 4 races. I figured you could do it. And you, like I said, you just skipped the other 2 steps of the podium, so not a bad way to end the night.
I'm good with that. I just feel so bad for Dad. He gets wrecked out every time. I want him to
he had a
race.
Yeah, he had a rough one there, but at least we got the shot of you guys crossing the finish line together, so that I think that made up for it a little bit. But
absolutely,
hopefully we get Father Ball up in here one of these times. We get an interview with him. So. But
just if it's
matter of time, man. Matter of time.
He needs things to go his way a little bit more.
Oh yeah, but all right, bud. Well, good one on the good job on the win tonight. If I could talk, I'll let you go, and I will catch up with you later, sir.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to seeing the broadcast for that. I can only imagine what was said.
Oh, dude, I think you're gonna enjoy it.
All right, thanks, man.
Later, bud. All right, let's get your second place finisher, Andrew Phips. I thought you had something for JD McHaley tonight. I thought you were going to run right away from these guys. The way it was looking, you seem to have more than enough fuel and come up just a little bit short.
Yeah, I started saving too late. I went into save mode, gave up a big lead.
Yep.
And then bailed on the save mode when I realized I wasn't going to make it. I'm not really good at doing math while I'm driving. Apparently, I was trying to do calculations, and I go, I should be able to make it. I think I should be able to make it.
Yeah.
And then I looked. It said I was still like 1.1 gallon short. I'm like, I could save that, but 1.1 gallon here, I guess, is worth like over 2 laps.
See,
so
I pulled off what you tried last year against Savoy and Benell, and somehow I pulled it off. Not like I have no idea how I did it, because Kevin's like the master when it comes to saving fuel. I swear to God. But
yeah, if I would have been smart enough to see the situation before it got to me, I could have gone one more lap on fuel. Because I had like 1.3 laps left when I pitted. And I just did that just to be cautious.
Yeah.
And then I could have got one more lap, and then I could have started saving immediately. And then I would have been fine. But I I'm not that smart. And I knew that if I just kept going, I didn't think more than one guy would be able to do it. I thought possibly Crown Over could do it, and I didn't know anybody else was saving. So I go, you know what? I'm just gonna go, and when I realized I wasn't gonna make it, I go, I'm just gonna go, and at least I'll have a top 3, which is the main thing. Is just survive these races. Don't get in any trouble.
Yep.
Don't get in any wrecks. And if I can finish top 3 every week, I'm gonna be really hard to catch. So that's the main thing. And it's looking back at it, had I never tried to save at all and just hammered down the whole way, I caught Crown Over and he was second. I might have had enough speed and lap time to catch JD.
Quite possibly.
When you don't know, because I think he had about a straightaway on Anthony, and I caught Anthony on the last lap.
He was about, I think he was about 16 last I checked, 16 seconds up. And then at the end there
on Anthony, then that's a lot.
You at the end there, you were about 20 seconds down to JD, and I know JD was like 50% throttle from what he was telling us just a second ago. That whole last lap.
Yeah, I was probably giving up a second a lap for 10 laps.
Yeah.
It's if you can save fuel, it's the way to go.
Oh yeah.
It's not fun, but
it's
the smart move if you can make it.
It's incredibly boring, but like I was telling JD, when you get to play the game, right? Like that strategy, and you pull it off at the end, it's like, man, all that was worth it. But getting there is the tough part, because you have to stay the course.
100%. He put all the chips in, and he's like, either I'm just going to get a terrible finish or I'm going to win this thing.
Well, it was funny too, because we're watching you and you're going, you're clicking, laps are good. And I'm watching JD because I knew it was close between you guys in points. And, I think it was going to come down to whoever won it. It was going to be whoever left with the points lead. I'll have to check once Josh gets that all updated. But, he just kind of sat there in like 6th place, drafted. I'm seeing him clutch. I'm like, he's got a plan here. And I was surprised to see that he made it that far, because we had Tom's crew chief in the chat earlier, and he was saying, well, they only got 28 laps of fuel. I'm like, ain't no way nobody can make it. Like we're 32 out.
Yeah. I should have been smarter. He's paying attention. I'm just driving. I need a crew chief. If somebody would have told me, hey, you're pitting with 33 to go, I'd have been like, oh, but I'm not that. I like to go fast. I don't like to do math. I'll work on the math part.
I don't blame you. Well, 2nd place on the night. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I just gotta thank the league for putting this on. I have an absolute blast, and I gotta thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I love going back and watching it. And sitting behind the seat, there's so much stuff that you miss. It's very entertaining to go back and watch it all. So I super enjoy that. And I was in voice with Jesse and Crown Over, and those guys are super helpful. Like we have bouncing ideas. I gotta race those guys for the win, but at the same time, they don't hold anything back. Like we're all completely open with each other, like what we're doing, and it makes it a lot of fun. Those guys are so fast, and when it gets into strategy and stuff like that, it's really nice to have someone smart to talk to. Apparently all 3 of us are not quite smart enough. Anthony almost made it. He was really close.
So I got a really funny one before you go. Last year when we were here, me, Jesse, and Savoy all pitted same lap. Jesse's way ahead of us, and he is just flat out. And I'm fuel saving with Savoy. As soon as I realized I can make it, I went hammer down. Like I knew I had enough fuel, so I'm like, I'm gonna chase Jesse. I'm running out of fuel. Sure as shit, I run him out of fuel with 5 laps to go.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome though.
So
I can't believe it. It's so hard because like you could save for a really, really long time and then just do 1 or 2 hard laps, and it's like it just kills all the work you just did.
Yeah.
But if you're good with the math and you can figure it out your mileage, then you know what you're doing.
It's tough. You gotta do it on the fly about as fast as you can go. But
Yeah, I need to get better at it. I'm learning. I'm just happy to get a good finish, and I had a lot of fun racing here. This is a tough track, and the guys did a great job. It wasn't a caution fest.
Yep.
And guys were respectful, and we had a good time.
Well, it's a long season. Still a lot of racing left.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, bud. Well,
on
congrats.
to the next.
Yep. Congrats on the second tonight. We're going to get Jesse in here, and we'll let you go.
Thanks. Good. I'll talk to you guys later.
All righty, bud. All right. And the man in third tonight, Jesse Bennell. I figured you and Phips, we were just talking to him. I figured you guys were going to have a real good shot at a win. And I'm still trying to figure out the math in my head on how JD stayed out in front of you guys.
Yeah, we're all wondering that ourselves. He did a heck of a job there. I really didn't think that he was going to make it. I mean, no one was really even close. So whatever he did worked. Maybe he's been hanging out with Savoy. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because we watched you guys all come out of pit road about the same time, and I could almost tell it looked like he was saving from as soon as he came out of pit road. That's the only thing I could figure, because he would draft up to you guys, but then in the corners he'd lag off, and you guys were just kind of pulling him forward. And I know what you're talking about with Savoy, because I remember this race last season. We were just talking with Phips about it, and similar situation. But third place still not bad on the night. We saw that one incident where I don't even remember who got into your right quarter. I think it was off a 2, which could have went bad real quickly. And outside of that, clean race for the most part for you.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We were sitting pretty there at the beginning, and then I don't know if it was another net code or what, with Josh and I going down the front straightaway. We about wrecked there and got a little bit of damage on the car. And then coming off of I think it was probably coming off of 2 or 4. I don't remember, but I think it was off of 4. I was trying to pass Kevin on the bottom, and the thing just got plowing tight, and I had to lift out of the gas. When I did, Kev didn't have time. He got in the right rear, and I noticed when I pitted, I had like 38 seconds of damage from then on. So I couldn't really save. I was having to hammer down on the throttle pedal just to keep up there the second half of the race. So was hoping for a caution there at the end of it, where I could fix some damage and throw 4 tires on it. I think I could have had a shot at it, but that didn't work out tonight. Congrats to JD. Nice to have a new winner in victory lane in the league, and we'll try to get him next week.
Yeah, I could see how the damage could slow you down just a little bit, because these cars are so aero dependent. I think even more so than the next gen car.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes you get just a little bit of damage, couple seconds, and it affects the car more than what I think we're used to. But everyone's got the same car. We're all racing the same thing. So I just got to try. I think that's like the 3rd race so far this year I've gotten some sort of damage. So I think, where do we go next week? Martinsville. So
I think so.
yeah, so that forget next week, but luckily it won't play that much of a factor, hopefully, in the performance of the car. So we'll see. Congrats, JD. Job, Phips, my teammate there. I hate that that crown over ran short on fuel there at the end. That poor guy can't catch a break. Qualified 1, 2, 3 again. So we got speed. We just got to keep him up front the whole race.
Yep, that's the main thing. Well, it's a long season. I've seen you had up and down before, and still come home with a title, as denoted by the trophy next to the name from last season. So still a lot of racing left to go, and I'm sure we'll see you at the top step of the podium again soon.
Thanks, man. We hope so. We'll keep digging, that's for sure. Appreciate all you do.
Yep. Have a good night, bud.
You too, man. Thanks.
Yep. That was Jesse Bennell. Well, I gotta say, this was probably one of the funnest races I've had to call so far this season. Shout out to all the drivers. Huge shout out to JD. He's been digging for that win since he joined this league. Was it 2 years ago now? So he's finally going to have that flag next to his name. And I tell you what, he definitely earned it tonight. There was a lot of strategy involved, a lot of determination. And I'll just use it, fortitude, if you will, for JD, to stay the course on the fuel saving, and pull off the win. So congrats to him. But as far as us up here in the booth, we'll be back tomorrow night. We've got the Yes Car trucks live from Chicagoland. That's going to start at 7:30 Eastern, I believe. Or I'm sorry, maybe 9:30 Eastern, because 8:30 Central. So yeah, I think it's 9:30 Eastern. Or, yeah, 9:30 Eastern. I'll have that all up here tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Then we've got Yes Car 3D, the monthly championship finale. That's going to be Friday night. Saturday night, we've got the NASCAR Generations League, and we wrap this week up with the finale for Fast Car and Slow Car at ISS in the Gen 4s. So on that note, everybody, we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Everybody have a good rest of the night, and we'll catch you tomorrow.